Today, we are commemorating 46 years after the youth of 1976 decided to define their struggle, identify their biggest challenge, unite in that challenge, and face it head on. Today, we are commemorating that day, a very important day in our history. As we gather here today, young people have nothing to celebrate. 46 years after, young people have nothing to celebrate. Just last week, I was reading a story about a young man from the Northern Cape by the name of Uthabang. Uthabang committed suicide live on TikTok. Before he killed himself, Thabang said, "As a young man, a 26-year-old, I feel as if I have failed my mother and my little sister because I'm unable to provide for them. I'm unable to get a job." 46 years later, we have a young person who committed suicide because they do not have access to an opportunity. As I stand here today, I want to dare and say that the ANC government killed Uthabang. The ANC government, led by President Cyril Palapala Ramaphosa, killed Uthabang. This ANC government is not happy with stealing taxpayers' money. This ANC government is not happy with promoting unlawlessness, that they have decided to now kill us. This government is killing us. When a young person does not have a job, they do not have dignity. Young graduates are stripped of their dignity because they are forced to stand in traffic lights. They are forced to stand in traffic intersections with their qualifications and say, "I am looking for a job." Our sisters can't afford to buy sanitary towels. 46 years later, they cannot afford to buy these sanitary towels because prices are skyrocketing. In many communities, young people are forced to exchange sex for jobs. Where is their dignity? How many Thabangs are out there? How many young people have committed suicide because they have given up on jobs and opportunities? How many? Without a job, a young person feels as if they have nothing. How would you feel if you did not have dignity? Awunastima. Istima somntu sikwinto yokwazi ba akwazi uzamela uzithengele isonka nento thambisa amakhwapha. This Youth Day, we need to wage a war. We must wage a strong fight against the uncaring ANC government. We need to put a strong fight and help restore the dignity of young people. All young South Africans, we must restore their dignity. On Monday, this week has been very difficult for me. On Monday, I lost a brother, a friend, by the name of Uluto Jetsobotel. He was an activist of this party. Uluto, like many other South Africans, fought fearlessly and tirelessly each and every day of his short-lived life to ensure that young people can have dignity. Uluto passed away just before he was about to be sworn in as a councillor because he understood the struggle that young people were facing. He used each and every opportunity that he had to address the plight of young South Africans. Over the last few months, we have seen young people like you. We have seen Duncan, we have seen Dickon, we have seen Utando, we have seen young people at the forefront. Just last year, where young people stood up and said, "No more, enough is enough." Where young people went and mended tables, info tables, to ensure that we can have mayors. Where young people, without looking to benefit anything personally, said, "We will ensure that Mpho Palatse is a mayor in the city of Johannesburg." Today, Usoli is the de facto premier because we're governing Utswane, we're governing Ekuruleni, we're governing the city of Johannesburg because of you, the young people. You were at the forefront. Young people took a stand and said, no more will we support the job crisis. We will vote for jobs and not to be unemployed. Young people stood up in 2021 and said, no more we will vote for a government that does not provide safety in our communities. We will no longer vote for crime. Young people rejected poor service delivery. And for that, I must thank you. I must thank you with the caution that Asika Kali and Asika Baby. We all need to keep firing the spirit of Hector Peterson. We need to fire up the spirit of Japie Vilankulu. And that's why we're here today. A spirit that says, I am going to put South Africa first. A spirit that says, I will not rest until my brother and sister are liberated. A spirit that says, I might have a job, but I will not rest until all of us can proudly say that we have a job. Almost 1 in every 2 young people in the labor force doesn't have a job. Millions of South Africans are locked out of opportunities whilst the ANC fat cats continue to live at large. Why must Utabang kill himself because he could not get an opportunity to have a job? Whilst the ministers, sitting ministers, can blow up 1.4 billion rands in hotels, parties, and holidays during the lockdown. Yet there are people like Tabang. Today we are here to say that as this generation, the generation of Duncan Mthembu, the generation of Ndipiwe Olai, the generation of the late Luto Sokutela, we are here to say today, we have identified our struggle. This is a struggle that we are going to fight for. And if needs be, this is a struggle that we are prepared for this unjust government to kill us for. Our biggest struggle as a generation is unemployment. It is unfortunate that not all of us have couches thatched with millions of American dollars. We need jobs to buy simple things such as bread and milk. We need jobs to keep up with the rising cost of living. We need jobs to secure our future and that of the next generation. Young people are sick and tired. You've proven it. Young people are sick and tired of empty promises. Young people are sick and tired of the broken record that is Ramaphosa. Young people are sick and tired of the empty rhetoric that we are told year in and year out. To foster job creation, we need to create opportunities. From a national government perspective, we must be able to establish youth work opportunity centers and innovation hubs. This will assist young entrepreneurs. People like King 150 will be assisted through those centers. We need to implement tax incentives for small businesses to encourage them to invest and therefore create jobs. To achieve this, our demand is backed by simple and implementable steps. We're giving them the blueprint on how to do it. National government, number 1, must immediately scrap NYDA. NYDA is a 500 million rand milking cow, a slush fund of the ANC. For R500 million, the NYDA employs ANC cadres in high-paying jobs. Let me tell you something. The people who sit on that board get paid 500,000 in annum just to attend 10 meetings. Yet there are people who are like Tabang. NYDA does not create any real jobs for ordinary South Africans like me and you. It does not create any opportunities for the unemployed young South Africans. The NYDA does nothing for young people in rural communities. Abantu basengcobo nabaselibote, it does nothing for them. It does nothing for unskilled young people. Its primary mandate is to develop and train those people so that they can be able to compete for opportunities. The only thing it does, they sip champagne and post on Instagram. We must be able to wage a fight that will be led in Parliament. And I'm saying it proudly because the caucus leader is here of Parliament, that the DA must be at the forefront of saying NYDA must be scrapped because it is a 500 million rand cash cow. We are saying we must scrap the race-based job-killing legislation that discourages investors. Legislation like BEE or NHI. We must be able to cut the red tape to allow for the formalization of informal businesses and to make it easier to do business. Let's make life better for small-scale farmers, ezilalini, and those who are setting up startups in urban areas. Let's end cadre deployment. It is a disease. It's worse than corona. Let's end cadre deployment, which reserves jobs in the public sector only for those who are carrying card members of the ANC, and excludes the young, capable, skilled young individuals like yourselves. We must privatize failed state-owned enterprises and expand the role of the private sector in the economy, thereby empowering young people to set up new businesses and directly create jobs. I'm proud to stand here today. I'm proud to stand here because I can answer the question when people say, but what have you done as the DA? I can answer the question because as the DA, we are the party that gets things done. In the DA-run Western Cape, the DA-run Western Cape does not have a board of high-paid political appointments to create youth jobs. We just get our hands dirty and our feet on the ground and create those jobs for young people. That's why we have the lowest unemployment rate in South Africa. In the Eastern Cape, we do not practice cadre deployment, which means that talented and skilled graduates have the opportunity to enter the public service. The DA-run Western Cape still has the lowest unemployment rate in the country and creates the most jobs. The province's red tape reduction unit has been in the forerunner in the country when it comes to making it easier for small business owners to do business. And that is what we need. Addressing the youth unemployment crisis requires bold leadership. It requires all of us. It requires a type of leadership that is honest and centered in South Africans. And NYDA is not that. The current poverty cabinet led by Mr. Palapala is not that. On this Youth Day, John, on this Youth Day, we are making a commitment. On this Youth Day, we are making a commitment as the DA youth that will be at the forefront in speaking to our councils, in speaking with our legislators, and in speaking to Parliament to go and present motions and bills that directly speak to addressing youth unemployment. Fighting unemployment is a struggle that affects all of us, all young people from all walks of life. To the young person who has given up on a life with dignity, as the DA youth who are saying that we're here. To the young person who feels like utabang, that there is no option or no solution, we are saying that we are here. To John Steenhuisen and Soli Msimang, who continue to fight the good fight in our legislatures, and sometimes they feel as if it's not worth it. We are saying we support you and that we are here. When they seek to divide us, we will be there to unite, because as the DA youth, we are here. When they tell us about the past, we will tell them about the future of South Africa that we want to build. When generations to come say, when South Africa was facing a crisis, where was the DA youth will be able to say we were there, because as the DA youth, we are here.
Yes.
Wow.
First line of defense.
When the youth works, South Africa works.
Yes.
South Africa is not going to work if me and you do not take up this fight. Amandla!